Good evening, listeners and viewers, and welcome to the Co-op Podcast number 87. We have a couple of the usual guests here, starting with Gary A. Swaby. How's it going, Gary?
Hey, it was so good to be back once again with all these epic people here.
Yes, epic conversations forthcoming. We also have, next to him, Mr. Jake James Lugo. How's it going, Mr. Lugo? All righty then. Let's go on to our next guest.
He's so epic he can't unmute his mic right now. So that's what's going on.
No. Next up, we have Mr. Tony Polanco. What's up, Tony?
What's going on? Is this like my official first podcast with you guys as a member of the coalition?
Yes, it is. Welcome.
Right, so thank you for that. What's going on, coalition faithful? How y'all doing?
We're doing excellent. Oh no, you meant the fans. Well, yeah,
the fans, not you. I know you guys are doing good. I don't know how the fans are doing. How y'all doing tonight, people? Hope you're all right.
Yes. And of course, last but certainly not least, we have Austin Conway. How's it going, Austin?
Thanks for having me back.
Yes, always a pleasure. So we're going to jump. We got several topics to go over, but first and foremost, I'd like to ask what everybody has been playing. I'll just start by saying that I haven't played much because I actually just moved back to Atlanta, so I will have quite a bit to catch up on, but I will have a lot to talk about next week because I got my hands on a few things that I will be playing, so stay tuned for that next week. But if you want to tell us what you've been playing, Gary?
Yeah, me, I've been playing a bit of Dragon Age 2. I played some GTA Online. I tried out the new flight school stuff. Some of that stuff is difficult. Some of it's really easy, but overall it's good for making money on there and stuff. I tend to make a lot of money on GTA Online and then I just spend it on my car. Like I spend literally everything I made. So I need to start saving up more money and stuff so I can make bigger investments in the game. But besides that, I've also been playing a lot of Guild Wars 2, which is an MMO. And yeah, that's really it for me.
That's cool. Yes. So how about you, Tony? What you been playing?
I've been playing with my dick. I haven't played any games in like a week, man.
Oh, whoa.
Yo, the last game I played was PT, and I think that traumatized me, man. Like, that shit was so scary. I'm like, nah, I can't right now. It's too much. Kojima, what are you doing to me, man?
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I haven't been playing too much lately. There's been a lot of, shit that's been going on in life that I got to take care of first. Some good stuff, And yeah, no, actually good stuff. Ever since I came to the site, everything's been on the up and up. It's fucking beautiful. So, but no time for games. But I don't know. I mean, there's not much out right now. I mean, Gary, what system are you playing GTA on? Maybe I should join you.
PS3.
Shit, I should join you, bro.
I will be getting it when it comes to PS4 as well. But
yeah, me too.
That's right.
PS3.
Yeah, but that's it. I only played PT. Kojima scared the fuck out of me.
Well, I have heard a lot about that. I still need to download that. I haven't done so yet, but I will. But I just want to say one thing real fast. I know Gary said he's going to get Grand Theft Auto on PS4. I wouldn't trust him completely because if the game is coming out to PC, he will choose that over PlayStation.
Oh shit, that's true. The PC Master Race.
I'm super conflicted on that because the thing is, I want GTA Online on the console so I can play with friends on GTA Online. But when it comes to single player, and before I want to play the single player again, but I want the best performance possible, and you can only get that on PC. So I'm really conflicted. I might end up buying the game a third time.
Oh shit!
Oh, come on now. Now that's just too much. See, Rockstar would love to hear that, but no.
We get Rockstar to send us the fucking game, man. We're big time journalists, right? What's up?
Yeah, they will do that. But yes, they will do that. That's crazy. You doing it like that?
Yeah.
Well, Austin, if you're back now, what have you been playing?
Nothing. Really, it's one of those it's one of those kind of transition periods where you're like, man, I've got nothing left to play. I feel like I've played it all. So
he's playing with his dick too.
Yeah, this is true. Man.
But yeah, it's just no, like the most recent was The Last of Us, but that was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
You know,
I'm trying to double down. Trying to double down on my time, trying to get into grad school at the immediate future. So hopefully I can find a time to play, some stuff when it comes out.
That's very cool. And might I add that The Last of Us is very, very ironic that was the last game you played, because they ain't been shit out since The Last of Us. Not yet. Yes.
I'd like to get Metro.
Yeah. We'll see. We shall see. So, JJ is not here at the moment. He will be back, but in the meantime, we're going to jump right into the topics. First and foremost, let's talk about Konami and Metal Gear Solid 5. Of course, everybody knows that today they released a trailer from their online mode, showing off the multiplayer aspect of the game. So I have to ask this question: what are you guys' expectations for this online mode? And do you think it'll be good? Or were you impressed by what you saw in the trailer? Please feel free to let us know. I guess you can go first, Gary. What did you think of the trailer?
Oh man, it looks really fun. That little tower defense mode they have, where you go to someone else's mother base and you try and infiltrate it, and you steal their supplies and everything. Like, all that stuff seems fun. It's going to be really fun, going to your friend's base and everything, seeing what they got, taking all their stuff, and just infiltrating their mother base. But I hope that it's not the only mode. I hope they have a lot of variety in terms of the modes you can play, because the engine seems incredible. So I hope that it's going to be kind of like Metal Gear Online, where they have all those different fun modes and everything for you to play in. But that specific mode they showed, that seemed really fun. And I like the fact that the other player, he turned up at the base, right at the end, and he caught the person who was trying to infiltrate it. Like, that seems really fun.
Yeah, man, it looks phenomenal. Like, when I started seeing it, just the beginning of it was like, this game keeps blowing me away on the graphic front. But besides that, what stood out to me was all the new stuff Snake was able to do. He was able to, like, climb up pipes and stuff. He was able to, like, drop from, like, certain ladders and stuff. Like, he's being a lot more like Sam Fisher from Blacklist now, which is great. It was cool, man. And I kind of like that approach. Like, I think Gary's right. I think there probably will be other modes and stuff. I doubt this is going to be like just that. Like. But to me, it's cool. Like, I get to infiltrate somebody's base. But the thing is, like, what do you do if your base is being infiltrated? Like, how do you, like, just defend? You just, like, because I didn't see the whole video. I just saw the 6-minute one. I just saw the dude sneaking in. Like, do you actually build, like, a base with all these, like, defenses, and then somebody needs to try to, like go into it or something? How does that work?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. Like, is this actually the same base you build up during story, or is it like a separate one that you build up just for online, or do you have to actually initiate this mode or something, like, from both sides? Like, I'm really interested to see how it's going to work like that.
Yeah, I guess there's still some questions that need to be answered then.
Well, yeah, well, that video probably just that was just to give people a little preview of what to expect. Did you get a chance to check it out, Austin?
Yeah, I saw some of it. It's always good to see Snake hiding the PS4 box. I mean, it looks good. It looks really good. It definitely looks like they're taking all those familiar conventions and subverting them to keep it fresh, but it's still painstakingly familiar in regards to, you're still dealing with Snake. You still have nanomachines, of course. It's going to be interesting to see what it does.
Yeah. All right. So Jake is back with us now. Jake, so what do you think of the multiplayer aspects that they shown in that Metal Gear Solid 5 trailer?
I think it was cool. I think, again, I'm still proceeding with a little bit of caution because, again, from past experiences with Metal Gear games, the online multiplayer, with the exception of the co-op from Peace Walker, is kind of hit and miss, and it kind of dies down, or at least, as far as hype is concerned, for me, dies down really quickly. But I'm still going to be a little bit optimistic and see what it kind of brings about. Because the majority of my time is going to be spent playing single player, much like everybody else. I think that's where the meat of the game is going to be for the most part. But I hope at least they go the distance. They give us a little bit of something extra to keep this game in our systems.
The thing is with Metal Gear Online, with Metal Gear Solid 4, yeah, it died down from a casual and mainstream perspective. Like a lot of people.
It was actually started in portable ops, if you think about it.
But there was still a lot of people though who kept playing, who remained loyal to the game, and they had an actual community of people that used to continue to play that game. Because I remember a lot of people being disappointed as well when they were actually shutting down the server for that game. So people did stick with it.
It was started in portable ops, I remember, and I remember I played it a lot, especially on my PSP. But again, I felt the same thing, back then, and I felt the same thing with Metal Gear Solid 4. Just that I feel it's going to die down a lot, the quickest part of that game for me. But again, I'm just going to be spending a ridiculous amount of time playing that single player, just getting all the nooks and crannies and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it looks like so much fun, man. I can't wait. I really hope this game, it's been rumored that it's going to come out early next year. I hope that's true, because I need to play this now, man.
Uh-oh. Whoa. Well, wait a second. Isn't there a lot of other games coming out at the same time?
Yeah, I know, but if Metal Gear comes out, all those other games get pushed away in my mind, man. That trumps everything.
Game again starts next month, so.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It has begun.
This is true. Well, we probably will see more from Metal Gear soon. Maybe some stuff at TGS. But speaking of TGS, and this is the perfect segue. We need to talk about a game that supposedly will not be at TGS, according to Eurogamer.
All right, here we go.
They have confirmed that from talking to several Sony reps, including the head honcho himself, that The Last Guardian will not be at TGS. So I have to ask a question, because I know a lot of you are diehard Last Guardian fans. How does this make you feel?
When I heard this, it was like somebody telling me the sky is blue. It's like, yeah, I know it's not going to be at TGS. I've kind of given up on this game. For it to come out, I'm like, I told you this, Rich, in a chat last week. I'm like, this shit's going to be a console launch for PlayStation 5. It's like, we're not going to see this game, man. It's ridiculous. I've given up all hope of waiting for this game. Forget it. If it comes out, great. If it doesn't, then whatever.
I have a strong feeling, number one, I had a very strong feeling that this game was not going to be at TGS, and I feel like, I still kind of do feel like that because it's not being shown there, this game is never coming out. But there is still, I guess you could say, that little bit of hope, because two reasons. Number one, the last time we heard some stuff about PlayStation 4 stuff, way before the console's reveal, they said that they were going to wait to reveal it till after Microsoft did, and they kind of did a 180 on that. So there's always that possibility Sony could just be trolling us, and then all of a sudden, boom, pipe bomb drop, The Last Guardian shows up at Tokyo Game Show. But at the same time, I still could believe a little bit this game is still being worked on, because if the game was truly dead at this point, they would have already a long time ago said, okay, the game is dead. I still think there's still some sort of development going on for it, and it's probably going at a snail's pace because of all the controversy and stuff that was going on with that Studio Japan, whatnot. But I have a strong feeling maybe we'll get this game later on in the PlayStation 4's life cycle, if it ever gets released. But at this point, I'm kind of not hopeful right now.
Uh-oh.
You make it. The PlayStation 4 hasn't even been out for a year. You make it sound like we've been waiting out, for the PlayStation 4 iteration for quite some time now. But I do agree. I think Shuhei Yoshida is he's been known as a troll fan. If you're going to make an announcement and an event, you wouldn't announce the announcement. Either it's going to be there or it's not. Why not just wait till Tokyo Game Show and see? Because there's no VGAs anymore, so I doubt there'll be a end of the year announcement.
Wait a second. We have a special guest that has joined us.
His timing is excellent.
Yes, this timing was on point. Mr. Michael Lay, how you doing, Mike?
He felt a disturbance in the force.
No, I got in. It was good, people.
What's going on, man?
I'm alright. I mean, did I interrupt something? Like I just got there.
Oh yes, you did. Oh, as a matter of fact, you came at the most perfect time. As a matter of fact, we were actually talking about the
Favorite
last
game.
night.
Oh, really? That's interesting. I'm not even gonna say anything right now. I'll just let you guys go on.
Well, no. Well, here's the thing. Everybody has said something except for you, so I have to ask you because apparently Last Guardian won't be at TGS, according to what Sony said. So, what do you think
No,
about?
see, I talked about this last week on the show. That some sites leaked it, and I was like, you know what? This is sad, but I'm gonna pretend that I didn't hear this because, like, I bought a PS3 for this system. Surely Sony's not going to just say, yeah, we're not doing this. And
They're
then,
playing with your emotions, right, Mike?
pretty much. And then this man Charles tried to give me this warning, like, yeah, if it's not at TGS, that game's not coming. And I was like, okay, well, E3 came and went, Gamescom came and went. So I'm like, TGS is still coming, They're saving it for TGS because, that's a big show for Sony. Now I'm hearing that it won't be there, and it's really looking like I have no reason to get a PS4 ever.
Damn.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. Quick thing. Hey, Mike. That game is never getting made. That game is never coming out.
I mean, all jokes aside, seriously, like, someone explain to me why they won't put that game out. I don't understand.
I think it's the controversy that went on with Studio Japan because there was a lot of stuff coming about it that like people were leaving. There was a lot of disorganization, a lot of like disagreements going on internally within that studio.
Didn't the head producer? Oh my God, what's
Michael,
his name?
Yeah, he left, he came back, and then he left again. I think it was.
He left twice. God damn.
You got.
I think he left twice. There was like some big deal where he left and then came back, and there was some other stuff going on. There was a lot of people, like a lot of stuff all over the place about Studio Japan. And, like Sony's been real quiet about it. It looks like they say, it's still in development,
Well, Ueda is, like most Japanese developers, a perfectionist, and I think that's why you've seen just no Japanese games in the last couple of years. Is at least not from the what's the term? The usual suspects. That's why Final Fantasy 13 now 15 has taken like 9 years of development or something crazy. Ueda at one point wanted every single feather on Trico to move and correspond with the wind and water. And that would require a severe physics overhaul.
But with the power of the PS4, how's that an issue? Give the man what he wants.
No, dumb feather physics. That's what it is.
They are as of now re-engineering it.
I don't like that. I want the direction of the creator to be shown. I don't want them saying,
no.
Or you're saying
it's still his direction.
Okay.
But they're like from an engine standpoint, they're re-engineering it.
Okay, so it'll be out in about 2020, right?
You're right. Is this gonna be another game like Too Human, where I wait for fucking?
This is reaching Duke Nukem Forever territory. I'm just saying.
I waited for Too Human for a fucking decade, and when Too Human came out, it was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. Buying a game full retail and going home and playing it. Like I literally almost cried because I could feel myself being robbed. Like, is that what's gonna happen here?
I'm telling you, this is gonna come out for the PlayStation 5 at this point, man. You need to do what I did. I stopped holding out for this game because I wanted it so bad. At one point, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not gonna worry about this game anymore. If it comes out, it comes out. If not, whatever. I don't care anymore.
But it's the only game on that system I want. And like the PS4 is, I can see that as a potentially solid system. So I'm like, just give me a reason to get it. And Sony's just like, lol, no. I don't understand.
You need to fly to Japan and let them know, man.
I think we'll see it sooner than you guys think, and I think honestly, in the next 2 years, we'll probably see a Shenmue 3 announcement as well.
Yeah,
I pray that that's true as well. I will say this: the way things are looking, we're gonna get Shenmue 3 before Last Guardian. I think that's really sad.
That's true.
It's reaching Duke Nukem territory. That's where it's reaching right now. I think it's going for a new record.
Well, we will find out sooner or later what the fate of The Last Guardian is. The fact that the last is in the title, well, that means it could be a long time before you see this game. But I'll tell you what, let's just move on to the next topic. So, is this really a surprising topic? Guess what? Street Fighter 4 is now coming to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, big shocker.
Man.
Yes. So, I'm curious to know what you guys feel about it, because I can tell you what I feel about it, but I'm gonna wait and let you guys go first. So whoever.
Do I really need to talk about this? Seriously.
Let me take a question onto this. Is there anyone in here who knows Street Fighter who's a part of the FGC, who knows Capcom as a company and their philosophies and their current financial status? Is there anyone in here who's actually shocked that this happened?
Exactly, right?
No, definitely not.
All right, that's all. That was just a quick question because I didn't know. Cause, I mean, some people might not really know. They'd be like, "Oh, I didn't see this coming. I saw this shit coming."
Yeah, I got a quick question though. Is this going to be cross-buy? Because like the game just came
doubt
out.
it.
The game just came out like last week. For PlayStation 3. So it's like, is this going to be cross-buy? That's what I want to know.
You're asking if a company like Capcom, who charged people for content on a disc they already paid for, is going to let you play games on your Xbox One and PS4.
Oh, I already know the answer. I just need to ask the question. I know the answer.
Okay.
Man.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I was on here a couple weeks ago talking about how I'm one of the guys that keeps buying these games. I'm glad I didn't buy this one because I'll just get it for PS4 then,
Yeah.
I'll wait.
I'm not buying it. I already have it for 360, and I'm mad I got it for 360 because the character I main is complete crap. They nerfed him instead of buffed him, and he was already bottom tier. I'm not giving you another $15 so that you. And also, have you seen DJ's alternate costume and the new alternate pack they mixed up?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
His pants are. His legs look like giant watermelons now. They designed his legs like watermelons. I'm not making this up. I'm just. He looks like Whoopi Goldberg with giant watermelon legs. I don't know what.
Somebody over at Capcom's got a funny sense of humor. I'll tell you that right now.
Is that or they don't like black people? I don't know what to tell you. That is a very bad comment.
They don't have black people to go. No, don't do that. That's what it is.
They don't. I mean, they must not have one bad. Like, I don't know. I don't think giving a black man watermelon legs is a good idea for a costume. We should stay away from this. No one told them that. But yeah,
in honesty, I mean, it's just Capcom. Another day at Capcom. That's what it is. I mean, it's the same people that right now they would rather port Street Fighter 4 over to next gen consoles than to actually do something with the Mega Man franchise. Like, man,
exactly.
Come on. I'll tell you right now. Here's what I tell you, right? Check this out, right? Okay, I bet you, Mighty Number 9 comes out. It does ridiculous numbers or whatnot. Hopefully somebody over there at Capcom will be like, yo, we got to go get Kenji Inafune back or something.
That's not going to happen.
That won't
It'll never happen because he'll never agree to it, but, at least something. Hopefully there's some sense of light left in that darkness we call Capcom that could actually call to reason or something. You know what I mean? Like, man, Capcom, yeah. You're like the bastard child that always annoys everybody.
I don't even think they can afford to create anything else other than Street Fighter and Resident Evil.
I was just.
Yeah, I know, right? That's true.
They literally don't have the money for it.
Yeah.
You think this is obviously a ploy to make some more cash or whatnot? But do you think like they're gonna be stuck doing shit like this because for like the next couple of years or whatnot, just doing random stuff like this and not really contributing anything to the table? Because keep in mind, deep down is not going to be at TGS either.
Yeah, it's not.
That sucks.
That game was supposed to have then came out though.
And that game looks awesome.
Don't they have a beta for that game or something, or is it closed beta?
No, not that I know of. I mean, that game looks and sounds awesome, but apparently it's not going to be at TGS.
Wasn't that one of the games they showed to show off the PS4?
Yes.
Yes.
But guess what? That ain't the only game they showed. They showed another game that is just now about to come out, Drive Club. So there you go. I don't know what's going on over there with these games, but yeah, that's another.
Tony caught a Capcom bug. That's what happened.
I just don't like. I mean, I still don't. No one has been able to explain to me why we can't get a Mega Man game, why we can't get a Monster Hunter on big consoles. Like, I'm not even saying it's gotta be Xbox or PlayStation. Get it on the Wii U, like a genuine.
I can answer Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter.
But we can get a new Lost Planet. Who the fuck asked for Lost Planet 3?
No, in all honesty, though, I can answer that thing about Monster Hunter. Because Monster Hunter, number one, they got some sort of deal going on with Nintendo that the Monster Hunter 4 is going to be on the 3DS. is probably going to get ported to the Wii U afterwards on like a better edition, whatnot. The other problem is that if for whatever reason in other countries they have a Monster Hunter MMO that's actually on the consoles, but it's never made its way here to the States, which I have no idea why.
I don't understand that at all. It's like they don't want money then.
Yeah.
I'd pay $15 a month to play that. I'm down.
Capcom doesn't want money because they won't make another damn Mega Man game. That's the problem. Like, Capcom should be doing nothing else right now. Don't even bother with Resident Evil remake. Don't even bother with that. Just go back to the drawing board and give us Mega Man before you do anything else, because then they will get themselves out of their financial situation.
I don't even know that. I don't know that that's the case anymore either.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know that they have. I don't think they have the ability to make a quality Mega Man game anymore, and they know this. I don't think that, and honestly, this is as much as it's gonna suck to say, outside of Nintendo fans, I don't think there's people that really are willing to pay for Mega Man. Like
Actually, no, that's not true. I think there are. You want me to tell you why? Because the people that are buying games like Rogue Legacy, Mighty Number 9, all those people would pay for a Mega Man game. But all those people would buy a game like that.
People didn't buy Mighty Number 9 yet. They added money to a Kickstarter. That's not the same thing as dropping 60 on a full retail copy of the game. Yeah, remember, we're in an age where people say what they're gonna do before a game comes out, but then when the game comes out, they don't actually buy it.
Yeah, but look at how many people, though. Look at how many people contributed to that Kickstarter or whatnot that said they would have already bought a Mega Man game had it already come out. Like, those are all those people, and then some.
Like, you honestly think that Mega Man will come out in today's world and just fly off the shelves? I think
at this point, hell yeah. If it wasn't done by like some of the people that are over at Capcom now, hell yeah. Apparently, everybody lost their shit when Mega Man was in freaking Smash Brothers when they first heard about it.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those are Nintendo fans. Nintendo fans, like, honestly, Mega Man might as well be a Nintendo franchise. That's what it's
I wouldn't be surprised if they actually like put away like most of their IPs to like different devs or different companies or whatnot. I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo picked up Mega Man, because that sounds like it would make sense.
That's what I already told people. If Capcom goes away, Nintendo's just gonna buy Mega Man. That's what's gonna happen. Did you see the video when they were showing him? First of all, I think it's funny that Nintendo did more with Mega Man and Smash Brothers than Capcom has done in the last almost 2 decades. Here's
the craziest part though, and this is why it's bad for Capcom, because even if the Metroid Prime team couldn't get their game approved by Capcom to actually be made or whatnot, because they got told it was complete crap or whatnot, that shows you something in the state of Capcom, like the mentality. Because if you ever seen that Mega Man X remake footage, that could have been an awesome Mega Man game done by the Metroid Prime people of all people, like that. It screamed epic win, and Capcom just was like, nope, can't do it.
It screamed what?
It screamed epic win.
I don't know.
It was a cool looking piece of footage. It looked like an awesome game to play because it was like a total re-envisioning of Mega Man X. It just looked amazing.
Oh, that's okay. It's all right.
But Capcom was like, nope, and it's just like, wow, you did not want our dollars.
That's right.
I don't know. I just don't. I think people really you have to understand the gaming market we live in. People don't. Mega Man games genuinely aren't very easy, and people don't.
Dark Souls is not easy, and that sells a lot, bro. I mean, look at that. If it's a matter of difficulty, I mean, you got games like Dark Souls.
A lot. And then you got to remember
Bloodborne also.
Okay, so you think that Bloodborne's out?
No, I mean when Bloodborne comes out, that's also going to be a big thing because it's like Dark Souls.
I was gonna say I didn't know Bloodborne was out already. And
No.
First of all, is Dark Souls selling as big as these other games is? No, it's doing well. It's making money, but those games aren't exactly high budget to begin with. That's because the only selling point for those games is the fact that they're difficult to play. It's not the graphics. It's not the amazing animations and the glorious worlds. No, it's just this game is hard to play. Play it so you can tell people you beat a game that's hard to play. That's basically their selling point. And I'm not even knocking it. That's a good point. You can't get away with that with Mega Man though. You have to make creative enemies. The game has to look nice. It's got to have amazing music. None of that shit's going to be cheap. And to top it all off, most people still don't want to play games where they're going to suck at it. That is not an easy game to play. I'm not saying it's as hard as Dark Souls or anything, but Mega Man games are challenging. Gamers nowadays don't want a challenge. They play the easiest shit possible. That's just a reality. That's part of why I don't think it'll sell. The other reason is, like, if they did make a Mega Man, what do you want them to do? Make a 3D Mega Man? We saw how well that worked out with Mega Man. What was it? Mega Man 64? Yeah, who played that?
Mega Man Legends. I mean, like I said, it had that actual game that was done by the Metro Prod team come to light and actually be made and stuff. I think it could have made a huge impact.
I
That would have been
honestly
awesome.
haven't seen the footage of that one, so I'll take your word on
I
that.
got links. I got links.
Okay, well, you can link me. Yeah, but I just don't know. I don't think there's anything that Capcom can do because the things that they Fighter updates, that's an actual update. Or how about this? Make Street Fighter 5. Why is that so hard for you to comprehend? Instead
Oh,
of porting over Street Fighter 4 to next gen, work on Street Fighter 5 for next gen. Like, why not just do that?
I'm pretty sure they are, and they will drop that.
Here goes your link, Mike. Check that footage out. But yeah, case in point taken. Like they're like so. Capcom right now is using that same archaic mentality that they've always done. We're not just putting it on all the consoles because they know people are gonna buy it again or whatnot. And no matter how much we kind of like bang the drum for them to actually do something that's gonna kind of like make them actually persevere a little bit better and actually get them out of their financial woes or whatnot, they're not gonna do it. They're just gonna do exactly what they're gonna do.
That's true.
And it's just going to be dumb and mediocrity or whatnot.
People need to stop buying these games over and over again. But with that said, we're gonna move on to the next topic, and this is a topic that I'm gonna have you talk more about, Gary, because I did not hear all the details on this. So whenever you're ready.
Oh yeah, so basically, it seems like Microsoft are testing out a new feature on Xbox One that will let you play a game for free for 24 hours. Now, whether they add this as a completely separate service or they add it as part of Xbox Live Gold at possibly an extra fee, maybe for the already existing price. We don't know, but they was actually testing something like this out, on the network. So I mean, that would be very interesting. If you don't actually get to choose the game. I believe it's completely random. Which game they'll offer, but you get to play that game for free for 24 hours. Fully. What do you guys think about that?
I just have one question: is this going to be a new game, or is this going to be an old game that came out when the system launched?
Well, you already know it's not gonna be a new game. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess it just depends really on the game and the publisher, maybe, on what they can offer.
It's interesting. I'm not 100% sure if that will work, but that's interesting. You gonna say something, Mike?
Not really. I'll be honest.
I mean,
really.
I think
I'm still heartbroken about The Last Guardian. I know that's silly, but I'm really sad right now. I can't explain it.
I feel for you, man.
Well, I will say this. I think it's an interesting idea. It obviously depends on what game, because I don't think that fans they're going to be happy to play with whatever game is free. I don't believe that people will. It needs to be a specific game that is going to be free for the 24 hours to get people involved and interested in it.
I don't know. I mean, if the game is free, people. First off, and I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. You're definitely right, because I mean, there are people that would complain about something free, but I don't think, genuinely speaking, if someone gave me an opportunity to try a game for free, I'll try it out. Like, I'm not gonna be the type that's like, I don't want to play this game, and it's not like I even have to pay any money for it. You know what I mean? So it's like, to me, I think that they could use that as. I mean, I don't think they're going to, but they could definitely use that to give shine to some games that people might overlook. I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah, and you've also got to consider that this will be in addition to games with gold, which they're already doing, So, I mean, you got games with gold, plus you get the opportunity to play a random game for 24 hours, it's adding a lot of value to the service.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, this is good, but, I do want to pose a question that I do believe I already know the answer. Now, is all of these changes, all of this is a result of because they were doing bad? They're not bad. They weren't doing bad, but because they tried to be more competitive with Sony, correct?
I think that's part of it.
I'm curious to know if any of this stuff was in the original plans before all this stuff went down when they saw PlayStation 4 outselling them and all this other stuff.
I guarantee you some of it was already because of the fact like there were features that we've lost because of the change on the Xbox One. I'm not saying this is one of them, but yeah, I mean I'm saying like a lot of these changes were going to happen already. I just think they had to find a new way to implement them. But for the most part, yeah, definitely Sony's success has kind of pushed Microsoft's hand. They had to step it up in new creative ways to kind of differentiate their console. Because as of right now, there's no difference between the two consoles. The only difference is that the PS4 is slightly stronger, but the Xbox One has like a better interface and all that. That's about it. It's like before they were completely different consoles. Now they're just both Xbox 360s with stronger hardware.
That's true. Yeah. It's absolutely true.
Yeah, I mean, I think this feature, I think it more shows that they're ready to start really competing, with Sony, and they want to make the PlayStation Plus service look, worse and worse, because when you look at Xbox Live now, they've got games with gold, they've got EA access, and now they might possibly have this. It's starting to kind of look like they're offering you more value than
Yeah,
PlayStation.
plus the deals with gold. They changed policies based on what people complained about, so they don't lock any of the features that you would be able to use behind a paywall anymore. Like you can stream video and stuff like that without gold. You can even sign up for EA access without gold. Like they've listened to a lot of feedback and they're starting to make some changes. I guess because I mean, a long time ago, by a long time ago, I mean like 5-6 years ago, there was a huge gap between PlayStation, PSN, and Xbox Live. Like it wasn't even a debate. But now the gap is closed because Sony's done a great job improving PSN. PSN is probably arguably the most improved single console experience I can think of in the last gen. So I mean, Microsoft had a lot to do. I mean, they still have the advantage, if you ask me, because of the dedicated servers and whatnot. But I mean, the gap is a lot closer this gen than it was last. So I guess Microsoft's trying to put the work in to make the gap wider again.
Yeah, that makes sense. Austin, you there? Yeah, so
I think he's stuck in a hot tub time machine or something. I don't know what's going on over there.
technical difficulty.
I am stuck in hot tub.
Oh, there he is.
No, sorry, I was having
Yeah, I just was going to ask you.
difficulties.
I just was going to ask you your thoughts on the idea of Microsoft testing out games for free for 24 hours. That was the topic that Gary brought up. Is that something they're doing on
Well,
Xbox?
I mean,
Oh, more technical difficulties.
We're losing him.
AC, do copy?
it
Well, he just entered the vortex.
All right, well,
Our signal doesn't travel that far in time, bro. We can't handle you right now.
well, that's okay. We'll come back to that.
like everything, it depends on the game.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, that's what I said too. It definitely depends on the game. But well, he'll have more to say later, perhaps. Let's move on to another topic. This easily is, in my mind, the biggest topic this week. If you look at everything that came out. Jake, that's you. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I've been here the entire time. I was listening.
Hello?
Yeah, I was going to ask you. Well, okay. Well, before I move on, what do you think of that topic we was talking about with
Can you
Mike?
guys hear me?
Austin.
Like, it's close leap. I'm just hoping the next leap will be the leap home. I'm just trying to get back. To answer your question, though, it depends on the games that are offered.
I agree. I said the same thing as well. Yes.
Yeah.
You have anything you want to add before we move on, Jake?
I think it's a good, sense of direction that they're going as far as to make the experience better for everybody. I think it's cool that, people get 24 hours, they'll be able to kind of mess around with the game or whatnot. I want to know how that's going to work with achievements, to be honest with you. How they're actually going to handle that, because you could just get achievement hunters, just 24 hours, they get a game for free, do a bunch of stuff, never buy the game again. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's something for them to think about. But I think it's a good step in the right direction. You know, in order to making their online experience like as far as like user friendly, and as far as like gamer friendly, just as much as like what PlayStation Plus is like. Because I still feel that PlayStation Plus is the better end of the bargain as far as getting more for what you're putting into it.
Yeah.
I guess in terms of what they give you for it, yeah, I'll give you that.
Especially if you're in the PlayStation ecosystem, like if you own multiple consoles, I feel like you're getting a ridiculous amount of value. Like it's just nuts.
I just say that because Xbox Live Gold, Games of Gold, is pretty much still in its infancy. So,
yeah, exactly.
Especially on so I mean, they don't have as much, but I mean, I like the deals with Gold, and I honestly, Xbox Live's online service is just
it's awesome.
It's amazing.
I mean, but if you're looking at it as far as like
games fast, I play games fast.
Yeah, the thing is like
of I get these games signing up. Yes, PlayStation Plus is superior right now.
Yeah, like what you put in, it's like if you put in, you get a lot more out of it. I think especially if you're a PlayStation gamer and you own multiple consoles, you're getting a ridiculous amount of value just coming out of it. I mean,
oh yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, if you're one of those Sony ponies that like only play PlayStation, and you got the PlayStation 3,
if you got multiple platforms, if you want a Vita, a PS3, or all three of them, or like if you have at least two of them,
all three, or even just two of them, yeah, you're right. You get
a lot. Yeah.
Especially when PS Now starts to actually be feasible.
I still think PS Now is a joke. I really still think that PS Now is a joke.
Don't say it, Michael. Hey, is fighting for
I am not going to say. I'm not going to say that PS Now is a joke.
You gotta admit it. It's a joke right now. It's still like Games for Gold or whatnot. It's still in its infantile stages, but right now it's like a joke. That's what it's really like.
But and then like the PlayStation Share, that's coming.
So. That actually sounds cool in premise. It's just that's got to be executed a little bit better, I think.
I don't know. I think both companies are starting to make a lot of pro-consumer decisions.
I
give both props.
Yeah. I personally think, once again reiterate personal, but I thought PlayStation Plus was a lot more beneficial last generation than it is this. It doesn't seem as much as as much a great deal as it used to.
Do you think that's because it's not? Do you think maybe that might be because
not for PS4 owner, but
do you think maybe it was a better value last gen because Xbox last gen didn't really start to do anything like that until toward the end of the Xbox 360's life?
Well, I think it was just a better. It was kind of that platinum service. You didn't need it. It was a benefit to have, not the.
Wait, is it just me or is it him?
Is it just you? What?
It's like he's breaking up for me.
I'm gonna say this. This episode will be named technical difficulties for sure. That's what it was. It's a little bit of a issue.
I agree with that one. That's all. It's
we're getting the patch in 2015. We'll fix it.
I wasn't sure if he was breaking up for me or if it was everyone. That's why I was like, what is going on?
No, you know what's gonna happen with this episode of Winner? We're gonna have to pay Capcom for a little bit of extra DLC to kind of unlock the rest of the content of what he's actually saying.
Thank you. Are you happy with yourself, JJ, for that?
Yes, it was the perfect set. It was a nice layup.
Oh my god.
Alright, so, let me get to the big topic at hand. This is the topic where I know everybody has something to say about it, so let's go ahead. Last week, of course, we know that Microsoft announced that Tomb Raider would be exclusive to the Xbox One in the holiday 2015. And this week, Phil Spencer elaborated on that, saying that he wanted Tomb Raider on Xbox One because he wanted something to compete against Uncharted on PlayStation 4. As his quote says, when they asked him about Uncharted 4, he says, "Totally, I'm a big fan of Uncharted, and I wish we had an action-adventure game like that. We started some, and we looked at them, but we don't have any one of that quality today. So this was an opportunity that we had to jump on. Now, personally, I would say that yeah, I I think that was interesting for him to say that outright because I think everybody knew it. But I want to know what you guys think about this topic because it's a pretty big deal for him to come out and say this.
It's smart business for them to get that time exclusivity or whatnot, but I don't think it's ever going to be a full-on exclusive. Like I think a lot of other places have been saying, like they've been using that term exclusive very loosely, especially different PR groups or
Yeah.
whatnot. But they're what is it basically? I think it's good for them to have a game that's going to have like a similar kind of like feel or like have like similar kind of like aspects to it. That's going to be kind of like Uncharted because when Uncharted comes out, it's going to be a big deal. So they're going to want something to still focus on the Xbox 360, the Xbox One ecosystem. So it's good for them like that. It's good just to for them to pick up exclusives that they're only going to get on Xbox One, even if it's for a short time. Because people still that love Tomb Raider or like really curious about Tomb Raider are still going to go play that game on that system. Not a lot of people, even though there's still going to be some, are going to wait that extra time before it actually comes out with the inevitable definitive edition of Rise of the Tomb Raider, which we all know is going to happen. It's going to be multi-platform. It's going to be on PC or what, or you know, that's going to happen. So
That's right.
but for the time being, it's good. It's good business for the time being for them. I think it's good for them.
I mean, I think it makes sense when you consider the fact that I mean, I respect him for saying it because it's the truth. Like,
Yeah.
people can't say, "Oh, he gave the perfect PR answer," or he's trying. No, he told you the truth. Like, I don't even think it's that they're scared of Uncharted as like a franchise that's gonna sell more than anything they have. I think it's more the fact that I think Phil Spencer, since I think he is actually a gamer, he realizes that the Xbox One doesn't have anything like Uncharted. If you get what I'm saying, it doesn't have a game that can offer a similar experience
That's right.
or a hybrid of all the kind of genres that Uncharted offers. They don't have that. They don't have an exclusive that matches that. So even if they have the Halos and all that they know is going to bring them in money, there's gamers that are looking for that Uncharted-like experience. Microsoft doesn't have that, so they're trying to do something to secure that for them, or at least weather the storm that is Uncharted when it comes out. And they figure they can do that with Tomb Raider, which I personally don't think is... No, I don't think Tomb Raider is going to be a game that you can put up against Uncharted, even if they had it exclusively completely. Like, no, I'm sorry.
I agree.
Uncharted, Uncharted just it's just going. If you put those two against each other, it's not a contest. But I understand why they did it, and I respect them coming out and admitting why they did it. And I think it's funny that if he were to come out and give the standard PR nonsense response that we all hear usually in situations like this, people would say, "Oh, here's the real reason he's lying," yada yada yada. So he comes out and gives the real gamer, honest truth response, and people are still saying he's lying or he's evil. It's like you can't win, really. You tell the truth, they attack you. You lie, they attack you. You don't answer, they attack you. Basically, as soon as he opened his mouth, he was going to get attacked. He should have just said nothing. That's probably what I would have done in that situation. But, I mean, I personally respect him. I just don't agree with that decision because I don't see Tomb Raider as a game that's going to go up against Uncharted. But, I mean, it's a pretty big deal for Tomb Raider fans because now do you wait a year to play the game or do you just get the game on the system that's out right now that you can play it?
Well, the ones that complained about this game when they knew it was going, then they heard exclusive, the holiday 2015. That's all they heard. They knew it was coming to the other consoles, but when they heard that, they said no, they'll wait because they have to wait to justify the complaints that they decided to throw out there.
And that's my thing. That's another reason I don't think this is a smart decision because Microsoft needs to realize. And Nintendo's already started to realize this. Microsoft, I don't know why they haven't realized this. There's always going to be people that don't like you. Whether you're a company, whether you're an individual, whatever you're doing or whatever you are, there will always be people that don't like you, that don't like your brand, and there's nothing you can do about it. And Microsoft sees far too worried on trying to win over people that will never buy an Xbox no matter what they do. They've already made changes to the system trying to appeal to these people. And it's kind of like, why? These people are never going to support your console. Whenever you make changes, they're just going to attack you for making changes.
That's the Japanese market in a nutshell for Microsoft. That's the Japanese market for them in a nutshell, basically.
Exactly, and that's why I'm like, well, why bother? Like, I even said this before. Like, personally, I don't see why they released the Xbox One in Japan. no one's going to buy that in Japan. Like, it's not going to sell over there.
I think it's the
Why
masses
bother?
that aren't going to buy it. I know there's some
Right
people in
now,
Japan that demanded it. There's some people in Japan that actually asked for it.
Nobody's buying the PS4 Japan, in Japan anyway. I mean, it just
No, people in Japan are buying PlayStation like software stuff and buying PlayStation hardware.
No, he's talking about the PS4. The PS4 is actually underselling in Japan.
Oh, okay,
That's
I see.
significant.
All right, worldwide it's doing good.
Worldwide, but it's just Japan. And I honestly don't know why. I honestly don't get why Japanese.
Because the reason why is because there's not a lot of Japanese-oriented games that are out on the systems live right now. Come TGS, that's going to change.
I mean, there's not a lot of games out on that system out either. But Americans are flocking to buy PS4s. So why aren't the Japanese?
But look at the difference in games though. Japanese buy a lot of obviously JRPGs, buy obviously a lot of different types of games that are Japanese-oriented games. There isn't a lot of that now on the next-gen consoles. That's just the way it is right now.
I mean, like the Japanese want Japanese games, and that's why they're flocking to mobile because it's cheaper.
Exactly.
And also, like another big thing that plays into it, like Nintendo does well because Japan is really the land of handhelds, and it's always been a big prominent feature. One of the reasons why, and I hope this doesn't sound offensive, but one of the reasons why Kinect as a feature never took off is because I remember reading articles on Kotaku talking about how Japanese people just didn't have the living space for motion gaming. They kind of like very condensed experiences. But Jake is right. I mean, people want content that's catered to them. So I hope, this Tokyo Game Show, we just see dozens of Japanese games because it really began in the East for the most part. It'd be good to, still have stuff from the East.
What began these video games or?
No, I'm talking like the PlayStation brand specifically.
Oh, no, yeah,
PlayStation brand specifically. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we have the beginning with Atari, of course, us Westerners, but for the most part, yeah. I mean, it's just. But I think something Michael said that I understand having preferences, but hating a brand makes me think you really just secretly hate yourself because it's petty to think, man, that Xbox with all its great influence on first-person shooter genres, man, I can't stand those guys. I mean, it's just.
I agree with you, Austin, but there are people like that. There are people. It's not just, I know people that no matter what Sony does, they will hate Sony. I know people who hate Nintendo. Nintendo could come out with the best game ever, and they won't buy it because it's. There are people. There are people who. I've talked to someone who told me that Ocarina of Time was the most overrated game, and it's not good. And I just stared. Like, I wanted to slap him. I didn't, but I just stared at him like. What is your basis for this? He didn't have any objective arguments, or he didn't point out the obvious flaws, because there are flaws in Ocarina of Time. Don't get me wrong. It's not even my favorite Zelda game, and then I could point out flaws in the game too. But he didn't even do that. He basically just said, "What?"
Just out of curiosity, what is your favorite? Just side note.
My favorite, Link to the Past. Like, it's not even a contest. Link to the Past is probably my.
We can't agree here.
Majora's Mask is my second. No, Majora's Mask is my second favorite one.
Okay, I'll take that.
I like Majora's Mask over Ocarina of Time. But anyway, when I talk to him, that's like, okay, because I mean, you know me, I'll listen to someone even if I don't agree with them, because if they bring up points, I might learn something from them. And he didn't bring up anything like, oh, the game is this, that. And he's just like, I don't like it. It's Nintendo. It's for kids. And I just sat there staring at him like, you really think like this? Like, when every time you see Nintendo linked to something, you're just going to dismiss it because it's Nintendo. That is the mind of. I don't even know if you can call them fanboy. They're just flat out haters. If Microsoft releases something or does something, they will find a way to shit on it or hate on it because it's Microsoft. And I think Microsoft as a company has not figured that out yet. We can't go by what these people on like and like NeoGaf or even some people on Reddit or whatever. There are some people who just don't like you as a company. There's nothing you can do about it. So stop trying to cater to them. Bump them. Focus on your fans and people who game. That's what Nintendo did with E3. Nintendo's the only company that didn't go to E3 and have a big show. What do? We're gonna make a show showcase
Where you can
for
play the
people
games.
who like Nintendo games, where people can play games, and we're gonna make a showcase for people outside of gaming who maybe don't have any allegiances to any consoles and just want to see good games. We're
And it
gonna
was
focus
awesome.
on those two demographics because
And it
we
was
can't
awesome.
win those other ones. And it was amazing. Everyone, outside of haters, everyone that watched Nintendo's E3 presentation, they showed you games that were running, and they were amazing, right?
Yeah, we played it, and it was awesome.
And it was awesome. And that's my point. Microsoft can learn something from that. Stop trying to appeal to people that hate you. They hate you. They're not going to like you. They will never own an Xbox One. Sony could go bankrupt tomorrow, and Microsoft could be the only console left. They will just stop playing video games. They're never going to buy your console. Stop appealing to these people. Focus on your fan base and focus on people who don't game.
You know what? You want to know why that'll never happen, though? You want to know why that'll never happen? Is because, remember, they're still a business. They still want to at least try to make the most money appealing to everybody. That's why they'll never stop doing that.
I understand they want to try to make the most money, but you don't make money appealing to people who hate you because they're never going to spend money on you.
Well, maybe I'm a part of the problem when it comes to like the quote unquote overprivileged parts of society. But I've got all three consoles, and I don't understand.
I don't see it as a bad thing.
Well, like I was saying, in the sense that if you can afford all three consoles, instead of constantly trying to tear one down and kind of lusting after one specific franchise or experience, just find a way to get that other console. And I think earlier you made the comment that it'll be good for people who want Uncharted on Xbox or something along the lines, talking about and I understand. Like I think for the most part, if you want Uncharted though, just get a PlayStation. I
agree with you wholeheartedly. If you want the Uncharted experience, nothing is going to bring you the Uncharted experience like Uncharted. So just play Uncharted.
I mean, I'm going to be honest.
I think that's what Phil was saying. Like we don't have the rights to Uncharted, and we couldn't recreate that. So we had to do the next best thing, which was Tomb Raider.
Well, I mean, I would be disappointed with someone who was trying to replace Uncharted with Tomb Raider. Various reasons. From a quality standpoint, I just didn't think 2013 was as good. Rise of the Tomb Raider is going to be a cross-generational release. It's going to be on Xbox and Xbox One, or 360 and on Xbox One. So it's obviously not pushing.
Wait, they're doing that? They're doing that again? They're putting it on the why?
Yeah, that's been known since announcement.
Yeah,
but, I didn't know. I mean, because the game's coming out in 2015. So why are you putting it on 360? What?
That's a very good question.
Xbox One and 360 are the targeted consoles.
I mean, I'm all for supporting last gen, but you've got to wean last gen off games eventually. You don't want people playing 360s and PS3s in 2020. It makes no sense. If that's the case, why
currently? The problem is now currently is because there's so many of them out there like that. Not releasing it on there, they're just gonna kind of not alienate, but like lose out on some of those people that would buy it for those consoles. So, yeah, even though it's stupid in some regards, everybody wants to move over to next gen, but that's what they're going to do. It's like Ubisoft's doing the same thing now. They're making a whole other game for the last gen consoles.
But they're doing it the right way, though.
They're doing it, yeah, exactly. I agree with Gary. That's how you do it. Because I remember when the Xbox 360 came out and that Splinter Cell Double Agent came out on the 360 and on the original Xbox, but they had different campaigns, and you got the entire experience. Play both games. That's how you do cross. That's how you do. That's how you handle releasing a game on old and new hardware, because then you have different teams working on them, and you can maximize both hardware. I don't want you having to worry about, we have to port this over to the 360 from the one, so we can't go balls to the walls on this game yet. Like, that is detrimental.
The one kind of not going to get it. Would want that experience, and then really, I'll use the word because I honestly feel this way. Settle for your Tomb Raider release. I just think I think Phil Spencer should spend his time and spend his money to create something that's not imitating the other guys. That's the problem with Sony. They've always chased that FPS audience, and they've never been able to get it. I think they eventually just gave up. And I think they've gone to stronger.
I disagree that they gave up when you look at the fact that almost all their big shooters now, all the big games are shooters. I would dare someone to name some Sony big games.
No, I'm talking about
No, I mean, I think that's what you
People
did. Yeah, I
wanted
think that's what, I
or
think that's what you,
PS3, or they've given up now.
no, yeah, oh, okay, I'll give you that then. Fine, fair enough. Yeah, they're not trying to make Killzone the next Halo because they realize there's not a next Halo. You can't do that.
I
Halo's
mean, in
already
terms
Halo.
of the other ones,
But
you and I might disagree on, to the degrees they are of shooting when it comes to your Uncharted, your Order, compared to something like your Gears. But
yeah, but I'm just saying
I
in
think when
terms
you
of
just
like, I agree with you in terms of what you're saying with like because
go
Microsoft's
ahead.
doing it now too. If you're trying to give an Uncharted-like experience, it's like you can't do that, and you don't really have to. Just make another game, make a new IP. We have that one IP, was it Scalebound, that we
Yes.
haven't heard or seen anything else from. Like, okay, maybe you need to start concentrating on that. And when they're getting that at release date, instead of saying we need to be Uncharted, let's go secure Tomb Raider. Like in the long scheme of the things, in the big picture, this move is not going to help Microsoft at all. It really isn't. That's why I
This one
didn't
is more
understand
beneficial
last week
to
when
Square
Sony
Enix than it is to
fanboys.
Microsoft.
Yes. And that's why I didn't understand last week when Sony fanboys were so pissed. I'm like, if anything, you should be laughing because Microsoft just wasted a lot of money to gain nothing. Like they're gaining nothing from this. Like they're gonna look back on this decision and say, "Yeah, we fucked up. We could have probably used that money to, I don't know, buy a fucking save one of these companies that was going out of business, or I don't know, make a new IP, or bring back Jade Empire, or do something that gamers actually want." Nobody cared about playing Tomb Raider first on Xbox. Like I don't. I honestly don't care.
Damn it! That's what,
If I want to play Tomb Raider that badly, I'll just wait for the PS4 version that's coming out later because it's going to be coming out later and on stronger hardware on the PS4. I'll just get Tomb Raider on the PS4.
Uh-oh.
But Ray, you don't like that Phantom Dust on Xbox One?
Oh no, I'm playing Phantom Dust. What are you talking about? But that's my point. Phantom Dust, okay, you went and brought an exclusive, one that you already have. It's yours. Do that instead of let's just buy exclusive rights to Tomb Raider and gain nothing. Like, why? Why? Who's like, oh, time to go get an Xbox now so I can play Tomb Raider all of 12 months early? Who said that? I didn't see
well,
it.
to be fair, I think maybe I had two guys. Oh shit! They announced Phantom Dust Xbox One. We gotta go out and buy the console. But we
No,
live in
but
a world
I'm
where
using
Phantom
That
Dust.
whole convention center that said that. Everybody was like,
Yeah.
what?
But Phantom Dust isn't exclusive. They own that franchise, whereas they had to go pay money for a timed
Some
exclusive.
people turn to me, what
copy
is
of the
that? And I
game
was like,
they're not
no,
gonna
it's
get.
good that we're getting Phantom Dust because that means anything can happen now.
Because that is my point. When you see even people who don't know or remember Phantom Dust, because it was a cult classic, a lot of people didn't play the game. That's a Microsoft IP. They don't really need, like, it's like if Sony was to announce Jet Moto today. A lot of current games would be like, what the fuck is that? I played Jet Moto back in the day. I'd be pretty excited. And it would be an exclusive Sony IP. It wouldn't be them putting all this money to get a game 3 weeks early or something stupid like that. That's why I'm like, why did Microsoft? I don't understand why they did this from a business standpoint because they don't benefit anything from this unless it's them trying to work out a deal with Square Enix and get a better relationship with them or something. I really don't get why they did this because it's not going to benefit them at all in the long run. Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider game will sell better on the PlayStation 4 regardless, even with a year time difference. It just will. Because those type of games are the games that people on PlayStation like to play. Xbox gamers aren't really looking forward to Tomb Raider. They want more action-driven games. They want either that or some game that's on an epic scale. Like they either want an action shooter, or if they're going to go for some story-driven game, it better be a massive scale RPG story-driven game. They don't want a Tomb Raider to the point where Microsoft should have spent millions of dollars on that. So I'm sorry, like that's just a waste of time on their part.
And also, if they were going after the whole Uncharted thing, there's talk that this might be the last Uncharted, so really they didn't need to invest all that money in something that's on its last leg anyway, because Naughty Dog are apparently moving on to new things, and of course Last of Us 2. So they should be more worried about Last of Us 2, really, I think.
That's a really good point, considering I guarantee you this remastered just made Sony guap, and all they did was put more pixels on the screen. And everybody with a PS4 bought it because it's not like they had anything else to fucking buy. So that's probably 10 million copies of Last of Us Remastered sold.
Yeah,
Microsoft needs to be doing that. They should be thinking about that. That's a good point, Gary.
Well, they are with Halo.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We'll see. But that pretty much concludes all of our topics for this week. I don't know if you guys had any closing statements. You can go first, Gary. Any shout-outs?
Just shouts to you guys, shouts to all the listeners, shouts to Seth, I think his name is, the guy who comments every week on the co-op. Shouts to that guy, he comments a lot, he says a lot. You guys should go check it out too, because I know he left some comments for
No, I
you.
don't. You know my policy and comments. No, because people who comment never have anything valuable or positive to say. It's just hate, and it's usually ignorance hate, and I don't want to deal with that. So I don't even read comments. I really don't. I used to when I was young and naive, thinking I could change the world and people were good on the internet. And I quickly learned that that's not the case anymore. So I just stopped bothering. That's why I laugh, because I mean, the comments are just people complaining, and it's like, well, if you complain so much, why do you watch the show? But then they keep watching the show to complain. I don't understand it, because if I don't like something, I just stop. But they don't like something.
Same reason you go to a bad movie. Sometimes entertainment's entertainment for different reasons.
I suppose.
We'll see. Well, don't worry. They will have something to say about what you just said as well. So
that's what I was gonna say. Quick thing before we leave. Oh, what was the name of it? Did you guys hear about the scandal with what's the name of this woman that does she develops a game a game on PC on Steam about depression?
I did hear about this. I do not think we want to discuss this issue. But I do. I have heard what you said. I must topic that one because it's a lot going on with that one.
All right, yeah. I wasn't so much that I want to talk about the individual or individuals involved. It's more so it's just I wanted to talk about gaming journalism.
Yeah.
In general, as a reflection of this, because honestly, a lot of people were shocked when they heard about this. I wasn't, because this is pretty much what gaming journalism is now. A bunch of hypocritical people that want to pretend like they're progressive, telling others what they should think and what they should play and what is and isn't right.
Huh?
And forcing their political views on people.
I completely agree with Mike, because the thing is, we don't even have to discuss, what this person did or whatever. That's not even the issue here.
What's the
these
story?
other sites are willing to take advantage, for content, whatever, and that's sad.
What's the story? You guys
no.
barely hear you. What's going on?
I will tell you off after the show. We don't. Yeah, they probably don't want to be. Because honestly, mentioning it in too far detail, you will be attacked. Because these people are the people that have quote unquote power. So,
yes, just like he said. But on that topic, is any other closing statements you like to make, Austin, or
yeah. I want to give a shout out to Charles behind Best Buy. Stay strong. Also, watch this space. I want to make a shameless plug for a good friend of mine who is doubling down. His name's Zach, but he goes by the name Double Mac. He's doubling down and working on his Let's Plays, and hopefully I can have some more information. I know it's a shameless plug. I apologize. Well, can't even speak. Give these new start outs some attention and support. So thanks from him ahead of time.
Yeah, sounds good. I'd like to thank the listeners, the viewers, all the people that continue to visit us and support us. We thank you very much. And stay tuned. We'll have a lot to talk about next week because there will actually be, I guess, some games that will be coming out that we can actually play and talk about. So stay tuned for that.
I'll be playing Madden. So I'm literally just counting down the days.
Oh yeah, I'll be there too. I'm getting Madden.
All right. Yep.
But until then, peace out, everybody. And to quote Mr. Jake James, stay epic.
Oh my God. Please. No. That man loves that word.